And now, your First Alert 5 weather.
Well, it was another really nerve-wracking day in Boulder County yesterday when the NCAR fire broke out in the afternoon. So this fire broke out in an open space in trails behind the National Center of Atmospheric Research, and that's where the National Weather Service in Boulder is located. So while they were evacuated yesterday, the National Weather Service office here in Pueblo, our local office, was able to run operations for their Boulder station. So that was interesting to hear about that tidbit of information. So the National Weather Service is basically going to run no matter what is going on in the world. Now, the forecast at the fire today, I do think crews are going to make great improvements on it. We'll have 20 to 25% humidity, 5 to 10 mile per hour winds. Biggest difference between this fire and the Marshall fire. At the Marshall fire, there was 100 plus mile per hour wind gusts. At this fire yesterday, only in the 30 mile per hour range. There's still going to be some wildfire smoke here lingering, so there is an air quality alert in place this morning in Boulder County. Taking it back home, it was 80 yesterday in the Springs. Record still stands at 81. We tied that record in Pueblo at 84. Today, I think we'll be just shy of records, but we're getting close again. We are going to feel a little cooler today thanks to this stationary boundary. So stationary boundaries show a clash of air masses. We have some cooler air moving in from Kansas, but that's also going to clash with the warm westerly winds that we've had across the state of Colorado. So what you'll notice is differing wind directions will allow you to either feel cooler today or very similar with nice warm conditions. So mountain valleys, we'll see that westerly downsloping warm wind still staying nice and mild. The eastern plains, seeing that cooler air coming in from Kansas, you will be a little cooler today. We'll see our winds breezy this afternoon, but a little less windy than yesterday. In terms of conditions this morning, 30s and 40s out there. It's a nice mild start to the day. This afternoon will be comfortable across the board and actually very similar from west to east. So our eastern plains are going to feel like our high elevation mountain valleys today, thanks to that clashing of air masses along that stationary front. So we are going to still see above average conditions along I-25 to the 70s. So let's zoom in on the Pikes Peak region. Mostly 60s in Teller County today. Cripple Creek just shy of 60, but to 73 in the Springs and at Fort Carson. Fountain at 74. Along the Arkansas River today, mostly 70s and 80s, slightly warmer the further you head west. A little opposite of what we usually have. Tonight we're going to drop to the 30s and 40s, and then tomorrow we get more of that heat back to the plains where more 80s are popping back up on the board. And tomorrow we also are going to be a bit drier, a bit windier again, so we have widespread fire weather watches where we have dry grass. So on this Super 7 day, we're tracking this nice warm weather here for the next couple of afternoons. And tomorrow is where we have that fire danger becoming elevated again. So just showing yesterday's fire conditions, fires that broke out, be extra careful, please. But then we do have some moisture on the way next week, 2 chances. One system moving in Tuesday, Wednesday, the next Friday, Saturday. In the Springs, we'll likely see a transition to snow overnight, but it will just be a slushy mess by the mid-morning hours. For Pueblo, looking forward to 70s and 80s still for the next few days. Moderated temperatures to the 50s and 60s next week, with a couple of cold fronts, couple chances of generally rain for you. For Canyon City, next week we're going to see a windy front Tuesday into Wednesday, next front Friday into Saturday. I do see you staying as rain during these 2 events. And for Woodland Park, I see you transitioning to snow overnight for both of these storms, Tuesday into Wednesday, Friday into Saturday, picking up a couple of inches of snow, but again, because we've been so warm, Ashley, road temperatures, we don't have to worry about them. They're not really going to ice over.
Especially during this time of the year when we see a lot of those spring storms. But I also want to bring up too, before the newscast, you were telling me that especially during this time of the year, it doesn't really start getting those highs that you've been talking about till really later in the day,
right.
3 o'clock. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, yesterday a few folks were wondering, at 11 a.m., oh my gosh, I thought it was going to be 79 today or something like that. But when we still have that low sun angle in spring, it takes a long time to get to that high by 3, 4 o'clock, versus in the summer when we have that beautiful high sun angle, we can get warmed up almost instantly. So that's the main difference here.
I myself was wondering, when are we going to see the sun and those high temperatures? She was right, though. She explained it to me first thing this morning.